Hey you, yeah you, are you trying to decide which phone to get when it comes to the Samsung Galaxy S4 Mini and the Sony Xperia Sp? Yeah? Well, if you are, in this video today I'm going to be telling you all the details you need to decide to make your decision a little bit easier when it comes to picking one of these phones. Both of them are great phones, but I'm just going to break down the details for you to make it easier for you to understand the difference between them. Okay, so don't worry, smile for me. Okay, smile, don't worry. Let's get this video started. Okay, so let's start this off with the design. Now, both phones are well designed, as you guys can see. Both phones look very nice, but what really separates them? Let's start this off with the Samsung Galaxy S4 Mini. Now, just like the S4, it features Samsung's well-known polycarbonate material, which means the back is removable, and you can also remove the battery and also add a micro SD card to expand your storage. Now, although some might say that this type of material feels flimsy and cheap, yes, it may seem that way, but the technology which is behind the material itself is actually very expensive. It's said to be the same polycarbonate material which you can now find on the Formula 1 cars and the helmets as well. So yeah, I didn't know that myself. Polycarbonate material also has some more advantages to it because it's plastic. When you're multitasking on the phone, or when your phone is handling a lot of work, when the phone heats up, you won't feel it as much as some phones out there, so that's always a big thumbs up. I myself do a lot of things on my phone, listening to music, playing games and stuff like that. My phone does heat up, but because of the polycarbonate material, it's great. I don't have a problem with my phone heating up because I won't feel it as much. So that's a big thumbs up to Samsung. As we take a look around the phone, we have the capacitive back button, the capacitive menu button, and we also have a physical home button on there as well. On the right hand side, sorry, is where you find the power off and on button. You can also use it as a lock screen button for you when you're ready to lock your screen. And then at the back we have the 8 megapixel camera with the LED flash under it and the speaker grill at the bottom. And on the left hand side, as normal, is where you find your volume rocker as well. So the phone looks exactly just like the S4, it's just the mini version. So in terms of the design, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just more portable and easy for you to hold in your hand. Okay, so now we have the Sony Xperia Sp. Now the Sp does take some ideas from Samsung. The back is polycarbonate, but what makes it different is that the back is polycarbonate, but the front is a very solid design. The same design which you find on the Sony Xperia Z. It's very different, polycarbonate at the back but a solid front. What does make the phone stands out as well is the illuminated strip at the bottom, which changes colors when you're skipping through media files, or if you receive any calls or anything like that, it changes colors. The front itself is made up mostly of the display, which is a very nice display. I will go further into that in a moment. As you take a look around the phone though, as you guys can see, we have a front facing camera which is VGA. It's all the sensors. On the right hand side is where you find the volume rocker, Sony's dedicated camera button, and Sony's power off and on button as well, which has become very popular since the Sony Xperia Z. Back to the front of the phone, we have the touchscreen buttons. There's no physical home buttons on the phone. On the left hand side as well, you find the charging port for your charging adapter and your USB adapter as well. At the back is where you find the 8 megapixel camera with the LED flash under it, and also the speaker on the side of the camera as well. So in terms of the design on this phone, it's a very good design, and Sony always seems to impress me when it comes to the design of their phones. As I said, you do get the best of both worlds on this phone. You get the polycarbonate material, but then you get a sexy solid feel on the front. So in terms of the design on the Sp, is very nice, and that illuminated strip at the bottom as well really stands out, especially at night. A lot of people has come up to me and asked, hey, what phone are you using? And I showed them it's a Sony. It's a mid-range phone, but it rocks, man. So yeah, the design on the Sony Xperia Sp is very nice. Now let's move on to the display. The display on both phones are very good. The SP is slightly superior in this area though. It's rocking a 4.6 inch display with a TFT screen capable of 720p, resolution at 319 ppi. The TFT screen is also backed with Sony's Bravo Engine 2, which brings down saturation, noise, but enhances sharpness and contrast. In the other hand, the S4 Mini is a 4.3 inch Super AMOLED display with the resolution of 540 x 960. That's the resolution of 256. The overall display on this phone is very good when comparing it to Samsung's previous Mini model. The colors are much more sharper, and you do see less pixel when you look at the screen. With the AMOLED technology back in this phone, be sure to expect some very nice viewing experience when watching films or even just playing games. Performance wise, both phones are very good in this department. The Samsung Galaxy S4 Mini is powered by a 1.7 GHz dual-core Crate processor with 1.5 gig of RAM, and it's also running the Adreno 305 GPU. In the other hand, we have the Sony Xperia Sp, which is a 1.5 GHz dual-core Crate processor with 1 gig of RAM, and it's running the Adreno 320 GPU. So gaming experience and graphics overall is a better experience on the Sony Xperia Sp. Saying that, both phones are very powerful. They're both packing some powerful processors, so expect the phone to run very smoothly when navigating around the phone, or when when the phone is handling big tasks. It will still be very smooth. The phones were put to the test using the AnTuTu benchmark, as you guys can see, and they both came out with some respectable scores. Both phones are running Android. The Sony Xperia Sp is running Android 4.1.2, while the Samsung Galaxy S4 is running Android 4.2.2. Saying that though, the Sony Xperia Sp will be upgradable in the future. Not sure on the exact date, but it definitely will be upgradable in the future. When it comes to hardware, both phones comes with the standard connections options, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi and NFC. The Samsung Galaxy S4 Mini though comes with the latest version of TouchWiz, and the phone is also 4G compatible. Sony Xperia Sp comes with Sony's latest version of their user interface, and their phone is also 4G compatible. In terms of the storage, the Samsung Galaxy S4 Mini comes with 8 gig of storage built in. You only get 5 gig to use for your apps and stuff like that. And the Sony Xperia Sp also comes with 8 gig of storage built in, and you get 5.8 gig for your apps. You can expand the memory by using a micro SD card in both phones up to 32 gigs, so that's always a big thumbs up. So in terms of hardware, both phones are very similar. Battery in the Samsung Galaxy S4 Mini is a 1900 milliamp battery, while the Sony Xperia Sp is rocking a 2370 milliamp battery, which to me is actually a high-end battery phone size. High-end, yeah. So in terms of battery, you do get a very decent sized battery in both phones, especially if you take advantage of the power saving options in both phones. So it's always a big thumbs up to Sony and Samsung for putting such a decent sized battery in both phones. And now the camera. Let's start off with the front facing cameras. On the Samsung Galaxy S4 Mini, you'll find a 1.9 megapixel front facing camera which records at 720p. So in terms of Skype calls or any type of video calls, this camera is very nice. On the other hand, we have the Sony Xperia Sp, which only comes with a VGA front facing camera, which is not that great for Skype or any type of video calls. Moving on, the rear camera on the Samsung Galaxy S4 Mini is a 8 megapixel camera capable of recording full HD footage. The phone itself comes with the standard camera features which you find on the Samsung Galaxy S4. Best photos, continuous shot, beauty face, and drama shot as well. So all those camera features which you find on the Samsung Galaxy S4, you also find them on the Samsung Galaxy S4 Mini. In the other hand, the Sony Xperia Sp also comes with a 8 megapixel camera capable of recording full HD videos, that's 1920 by 1080p. The camera also comes with a ton of camera features like superior auto mode, panorama effect, and all of that good stuff. If you want more details about the camera, more in-depth details, then you can go and check out the review. A link will be in the description. In terms of the overall camera in both phones though, they are very similar. Both phones do record in full HD and both phones pack an 8 megapixel camera. So there you go guys, a quick comparison of the two best mid-range phones I would say right now, the Samsung Galaxy S4 and the Sony Xperia Sp. Let me know which phone you prefer. Would you prefer the Sony Xperia Sp or the Samsung Galaxy S4? Leave all of that good stuff in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't hit that subscribe button already. It really helps me out and it does motivate me to do more videos. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of these two phones. Peace.